Well, folks, how y'all doing today? Now, you know, folks, Central America, we have all these just Central Americans pouring into the United States, yeah? Pouring into the United States, right? Yeah? And we know, largely, that they're either these, cartel infiltrators themselves, some kind of leftists that are fleeing from these right-wing governments, yeah? And or if we were to put down these problems at their homes, these gangs mainly, they wouldn't leave. No. But we have to deal with them here in America by spending money on tent cities. Why don't we do that in Guatemala? I bet you could have been cheaper in Guatemala. You ready for the bill here in America? $40 million for 500 beds. Yeah, I'll repeat that again. $40 million for 500 tents. Beds in tents. 500 beds. 500 individual places. Good God Almighty. Now, folks, that's crazy. Do you understand? That's crazy. Now, that's why the border has to be sealed. Okay? Now, these are people that are coming to be caught. Now, there's the other ones that are trying to sneak through. They're almost the same amount as these that are coming to be caught. And they're about 1,200 a week now. That means that there's another 1,200 a week that are trying to infiltrate. They're trying to sneak past. They're trying to sneak in, which by definition is infiltration, yeah? They're not immigrating, they're infiltrating. Because remember, if they were lawful asylum seekers, they could go to any embassy along the way and claim asylum. And it's not a hard process. So they could easily do this. But they choose not to. Okay, they choose not to. They choose to circle around through the desert, circle around through the mountains, go through these rugged and hard areas, and then try to evade border patrol. But magically, they become asylum seekers if they're caught. What's the difference between an immigrant and an infiltrator here? An asylum seeker and an assassin, hey? Hey? How does anybody even know? I mean, you have leftists in South America that have been taught traditional, straight-up Maoist, people's organization nonsense with, political mobilization 101. Does anybody not know that? Okay, I'll go through it one more time. It's easy. Charlie, what he would do is 3-4 of them would go into a village at night, yank a guy out, pop him, just blow his brains out, and then the next guy would be in charge of paying the rice tax. Okay? Now that's how Maoists operate. All Maoists. Okay, I know more about the Viet Cong than others, but all Maoists operate this way. These Central American communists are Maoists. Are you stupid? How are you going to tell the difference between that and gang warfare? How are you going to tell the difference between that and the standard violence that surrounds these cadres and these gangs anyway, along with the dope and the human trafficking trade? You can't. So, what you asshats have managed to do, in my estimation, is allow communists, cartels, and gangs to all get inbred together, and then outright giving them away to just punch right through the defenses and come right on in. Like you're injecting them into us. It has to be. Because otherwise, why would you spend $40 million except for to make barriers to block these people, and then to man these barriers to, just put these people in trucks and send them straight back 800 miles into Mexico. Just deliver them. The Mexicans object. Fuck them. Fuck the Mexicans. Those little two-faced bastards. They're allowing these people to cross their country from Guatemala, from Honduras, from El Salvador, from, Costa Rica, up into the United States, even though it's illegal to be in Mexico at all if you're not a lawful migrant. That is, they know these caravans, these 1,500 man, 2,000 man, 8,000 man caravans are sweeping up through Mexico, and they're facilitating it by giving them bus rides and transportation. So bullshit. Bullshit. And the federales are securing them. Or the cartels are securing them and the federales have backed down. I don't know. I can't tell the difference anymore because Mexico's so failed of a state, yeah? Now, why don't we spend the $40 million in paying for light infantry to go clean up these cartels and gangs? Then these people won't come north. Then we can invest money down there, give them some kind of jobs there, and just make it understood if we catch out in the desert and you're going back anyway. Do you know? right? But nope, nope, no way, because that's too sensible. Well, think about it. If the complaint is that our military has used up a lot of its hardware, and it has, used up a lot of tanks, a lot of vehicles, a lot of, you know what I mean? A lot of the arty's just used up. I don't see you can only fire so many rounds at them before they just get used up, you know? Right? Right? Everything's this way. It can only roll so far. It can only take so much shock. It can, you know. And then you got to get new stuffs. Okay, guys? The only thing that endures really is people. People and light equipment can go a long time, you know? This is exactly what you need to wipe out gangs and cartels. You know, and communist cadres. So you can like 3 for 1. It can be like a trifecta. Central American trifecta. You don't have to target the main population. You just target, you know, the heads of these cartels, of these gangs. You cripple their ability to function. Cripple their ability to organize people coming north. Because they do. Because they do. Because they do. And then just outright let it be known that these caravans aren't coming to the United States no matter what. You know, stop them 100 miles south of the border. Simply build a temporary barrier out of 4-foot high chicken fence. It doesn't matter what you make it out of. It matters that you man it and you enforce it. That's what matters. That's what matters. And you just say, no, you shall not pass. You shall not cross. You shall not come here. You shall go back. Go back to the desert from whence you came. Begone, Jinn. We do not wish to have you. You are not a welcome guest. Now, do you know? Do you understand? But, you know, at the same time, these bleeding hearts can't complain if you're getting rid of the gangs that are chopping off their fingers and pimping out their daughters. Right? And we still keep up the military spending. The guys still stay in the field. Hell, everybody gets some more infantryman skills. Yeah, no, do you understand? Why not? I mean, my reckoning is we're going to need a lot of this sort of being able to hit light mobile enemies. This heavy firepower stuff doesn't do that very well. Getting right down to their level and hitting them fast and hard does. Now, you know? I mean, since that's what we have the ability to equip and to outfit, why not do this? We can do it right here in the Western Hemisphere, and it has a shorter and more controlled line of supply, and it also can be sold as a war series of conflicts that establish America's safety. It can literally be said these are like the border wars to just secure America. Yeah? You understand? And it's not untruthful, really. It's not untruthful. It's not a con. It's not a gimme. Because what you're trying to do is stop the chaos down here, the bad actors that are making this chaos, so that these people stop flowing north, stop the sobbing heart idiots here, north, in El Norte, in America, seal the border and just turn them back. So they have better conditions and we don't have to take them on. 2 birds, 1 stone, bang, you know? Seal the border, operation south of the border. Seal the border, operation south of the border. You see what I mean? The border can be sealed with a goddamn piece of string. As long as the will is there to say, no, you will go back, Pepe. You will return, Miguel. That's it. Goodbye. See you later. Hasta. Hola. You know? You understand? You get it, right? That's what you just got to say. You just got to, and they just got to go. Now, you know? If you do that, your border's secure. Regardless of whether there's a wall built, whether there's a trench built, no. Patrols and sweeps secure an area. Fortifications do not secure an area. Patrols and sweeps do. Patrols and sweeps. Now, we have the manpower to do this. By foot, on the ground, and to cover the whole border. Intensively. In layers of patrols and sweeps. Daily. We can secure that border. If and when we get that border secured, then we have the strategic initiative necessary to go south and to take out these cartels, take out these gangs, and create order in the Northern Triangle and in Mexico, such that these people don't have to flood north, and we can repatriate them south with honor. Now, you know? That's way smarter than getting saddled with these people. And or having to do some, you know, ooh, we're going to be the jackboots, you know, right? No way, man. Just send them back, right? But you still are going to want to wipe out these gangs because they're sending you drugs, they're shipping weapons, they do white slavery, among other things, you know, that white nationalists should care about, but there's a lot of other things. And, you, right? I don't see any reason, you know, it keeps the military sharp. right? It keeps the spending at a fairly decent level. It gives us time to restock our heavy equipment, right? And it gives the military a morale boost because they're actually fighting in America for American ends for what is really an honorable and defensively just war. Do you understand? There's no way around it. I mean, it's like great patriotic war, like, the War of Independence too. You understand what I'm trying to say to you? It is not, any way you want to cut it, defend the border. And because you're not at actual war with these states, you've, just like when Jefferson declared war against the Barbary Pirates, declared war against these gangs and these cartels directly, just like when we declared war against Al Qaeda. But we don't announce it to these gangs. We do it quiet. Okay? And we just outright eliminate them. Phoenix style program. Phoenix worked. Phoenix had Charlie terrified. If you can terrify Charlie, it'll put these cartels down. That's it. Now, you know what I mean? I mean, of course we won't, but we should. Because if we do this, we can secure the Western Hemisphere, have better trade arrangements that make more money for everybody, and this is the best bit, and secure our country's existence all at the same time. None of these conflict, Because by controlling the border, we'll force ourselves to have to build our industry up, because it'll become apparent we don't really have the industry to rebuild our heavy equipment like we'd like to. Well, then we're going to need to invest here. Or we need to build stuff up here, aren't we? Now, you see, is that bad? No. Are these guys being home in the United States, spending their paychecks in the United States? Is that a bad thing? No, it should be a hell of an economic boost. And not to mention, at least if you die, we're not going to leave your body behind somewhere. Okay? Do you understand how this works? Moreover, is it easier to bring gasoline to the middle of Asshatistan in the middle of Afghanistan? Or is it easier to bring gasoline just a few miles into Mexico? Which do you reckon is easier? Which do you reckon is going to cost less per unit of gasoline moved, and per unit of food, and per unit of ammunition, and so forth? Huh? That's right. So we can have a just and honorable war and save money and buy time to build ourselves up from behind this wall, from behind this screen, as we set the Western Hemisphere in order, in good order, in proper order. And the idea that that's bad is absolutely insane. Then, of course, on this side of the defensive border, on the northern side, American side, we need to viciously root out the corruption, the gangs, and just go hammer down on them. I mean, literally, just the same as in Central America, just eliminate them. There's no reason to play nice with these, particularly if we're going to go with the MS-13, 18th Street Gang, which are two of the larger gangs that are sweeping up through the sort of Midwest and branching out from there, yeah? They need to be rolled up like a carpet. And by this, I mean literally stacked up like cordwood. Vlad the Impaler's School of Public Order. Get rid of them. Now, do you know what I'm trying to say? Okay, now, if that was to happen, whoever did this, whatever party did this, wouldn't even matter. Bureaucrats could get the common person's loyalty by doing this, because people want this. They're tired of the way these gangs and these criminals and these corrupt people in power truly behave. They're tired of it. They're tired of it all the way to the bone. You get that done, and these Central American countries put back together, whoever does that can be in charge for the next 20 years, yeah? And that's just how it'll sit. It's the truth. Don't like it, whatever. I want it done. I don't give a goddamn about the Caesar effect. I'd rather an emperor than this bullshit broken down republic, because the republic has failed. Understand? And personally, the imperial presidency is the best way out. Congress is a cesspit. Congress is a literal outhouse. Okay? At least the president's just a WWE announcer and openly weighs what he is. I'm with Caligula before I'm with the Senate, I'm just saying. So with that, folks, I'm going to go. But just remember, this is why you want the border sealed if you're American, or really anybody that's in Western Europe. Because if you don't know what's coming in, you don't know what's coming in.